of the fascinating things about considering the consequences of a scientific breakthrough is that at an early stage like this, when we're talking about something like cloning, each of us has a pretty good chance of being right or wrong. I mean, we don't really know. But just before the break, when you were talking to Lee Silver, you were starting to express what I gather is one of your greater concerns, and that has to do with the haves and the have-nots.
Sure, because I think everybody should worry about this. If a rich set of parents can give their children extraordinary advantages, built-in good looks, built-in knowledge, built-in athleticism, maybe even built-in emotional well-being, if we get that far, that's not fair. That's just not fair if the guy down the block can't give his kids the same thing. Just not fair.
Not fair. Life is not fair.
This is really, really not fair.
It has never, ever been fair, and rich people have always been able to buy advantages in terms of education, in terms of fitness, and giving their kids good food and vacation and good training.
This is intimate advantage. This is advantages in each and every cell. I know that's a difference of degree, but it's a difference of degree that matters to me.
You are assuming that rich people are also very smart to begin with. You are assuming that if you had access
they
to
can have a personal shopper and go to the right jean store.
Fine, so they go to the right jean store and they walk in and someone has decided that the ideal human being, the perfect human being, is going to be one who is 6'1½", has perfectly chiseled features, blue eyes, blonde hair, whatever kind of nonsense you want to think of as being an idealized person, and the kind of knowledge they will have is what? Scientific knowledge, historical knowledge, geographic knowledge.
That's good.
You can't have all knowledge, so someone is going to pick for you what it's going to get, and you assume that someone at this jean store is going to do a better job of picking than Mother Nature did.
In the short run, in one generation, yeah.
I disagree with you. I'll go with Mother Nature every time. I think Mother Nature has a way of adapting to change, or at least causing us to adapt to change. And that if, in fact, you now have several thousand rich young kids walking around and they have all the good looks and all the good health and all the smarts in terms of book learning, that some of those other kids are going to adapt by staying home and studying harder, finding new things, developing new techniques, coming up with new inventions.
That was your keyword, some will.
Right.
But what about those who don't, who might have a club foot and then overcome it and become a great athlete? That's the sort of thing you're thinking about.
Exactly.
What about all the ones with the club feet that just stay at home? Because they didn't have parents who could unclub their feet.
You are saying that no set of would-be parents left to their own devices is going to do anything other than pick the cutest, the loveliest, the tallest, the handsomest, the smartest?
Well, I think some will, of course, because people are different and they have their own tastes. I guess what really concerns me is if you were a parent that wanted to go the fashionable route and it cost $40,000 to do it, what choice do you have if you don't have the $40,000? I asked that to Lee Seidler. You know what he said? He said, we do this all the time with automobiles. Not everybody can afford $23,000 for a Buick. So for those parents who, unlike you apparently, and probably actually unlike me, if they wanted to go to the jean store, but they didn't have the dough, he says, don't make a law saying no jean store, just do it on the installment plan. $500 down, $200 every month, you can have all the advantages.
And what happens after your kid is 14 years old and you still owe $20,000 and you don't pay?
Well, there's a repo man I'd like to meet. I don't know what you do.
We've only got a couple of seconds left, and I don't want to end on that question. The last question, quick answer. What if it were up to you? What if you were the king of cloning and you could say yes or no? We can or we cannot, we will or we won't.
Would I proceed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very humbly, very carefully, and we're feeling the responsibility of it, yeah. But I don't know how you could not.
On that note, Robert, thank you. That's our broadcast for tonight. I'm Ted Koppel. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.